everybody, this is BKC back in Planet Explorers. Been doing a little base progress upgrade, update. Eli's a little bit behind today, but pretty sure he'll catch up in a little while. I've been recycling a whole bunch of things, enhancing stuff, kind of trying to clear out my inventory. Farm's been doing pretty well. Let's see, storage. I was able to make like 250 rice, 15 of these, 23 of these, 30 of these, 150 of these, and almost 250 meatloaf, and just a little bit of everything. So I've got plenty of food. Like I said, everybody just eats whatever's this first item, and it just goes down the list like this. So I kind of wish they would have put some kind of random number generator in here to pick anything and then just keep eating until they were full, because you could see that that person just ate twice to get their health up. And I wish instead of just eating constant rice until it was gone, because right now you could just plant your farm with rice and you could outgrow what people eat. So that's something I hope they change. As far as the machinery on the golden pickaxe, from enhancing everything, I kind of ran out of a lot of gold, because this shield right here, if you look at a normal shield, it has a defense of 128 with a 58% block. You look down this enhanced one, it's got a plus 255 with 117% block chance. So I don't know if that actually is the game scaled towards 200% damage, because it's, or is it putting out 17% damage to whatever I absorb? I don't know how that exactly works, but at 15 gold per upgrade, I kind of burned through all my gold. I had to go to the Martian camp and use my golden pickaxe to mine more gold, and I kind of wore it down a little bit. I put it in the repair machine, and it does seem that you don't need to spend a lot of time enhancing them. Just make 2 of them for those long digging sessions. Enhance them, and when you repair them, they remain enhanced. So it's not really a big deal on that. Right here, I just added some planters, so it's kind of like just a steep fall off right there, just decorative stuff. Down here, I took this wall out and extended, put 12 more beds in here. I kind of put some of these wardrobes in a little mirror. I put a couple lights up, because in the nighttime it's kind of dark in here. It's hard to see who's sleeping in what bed. And I kind of brought that curve out at a 45-degree angle. Down here, I'm starting to put in windows and stuff, so people in this area can kind of see the people in that area. My NPCs, Nan and Hitomi are still disappearing. I don't even know what Vera's doing here. She should be working the farm. But they do disappear and other people do show up, so I don't know if the game is just substituting NPCs right now. And then over here I put in these 2 large factory doors, and I'm gonna build this out a little more. Some pretty large factory doors. That way you can keep it open and have some sunlight in here. And I wish the doors would automatically close during an attack also. I don't think I have anything to make him come over here. I turned my shield off, just the visualization on the shield. Here he comes. I've been liking these turrets. They seem to be out of all the turrets, they seem to be the best to me. They only do like 25 per hit, but their fire rate and the way they burst fire, they basically, if they miss one shot, it's no big deal because they're doing like, I think 10-shot burst or something like that. Yeah, I see like Raoul's here for no reason. I did kind of put like a little skirt around this area. I still need to figure out a way to get up here. Chen just kind of sits there looking out the window. I put him a little desk and a little table. I mean, a little chair. Kind of make sure he keeps the assembly core good. I did put this particle cannon up here, but even though I think they do like, let's see, I got another one. Even though they have an attack of 400, they shoot out like a ball of energy, but it is so slow that it almost always misses their target. So I really don't see these particle cannons being useful. Maybe if the base got attacked by that super large dragon, where he was just hovering in the sky and these could actually hit him. I don't see the little turrets doing enough damage. The missile launchers are kind of hit and miss. They do miss sometimes. They do better on larger targets also. The lasers do massive damage and they're pretty accurate, but sometimes they do miss and they do have down times between their bursts. So out of all the turrets, my favorite ones are the Gatling turrets. And I did get a little work to the kitchen area in here. I changed the floor out to this stone. I put a little countertop in right here, some stools. I can support up to 10 people. I get this little floating island thing with a light in it. I got my kitchen set up with another floating item above it. And now I feel like when I'm making food, I can just come in here and actually make food instead of just the replicator. But this is just doesn't really serve a purpose. It's just fun to do. I did use some silver in here. I like the way the silver looks. It reflects light pretty good. Kind of matches the silver painted items in the kitchen. So I think what we're gonna do now is go see how many people we can bring to our camp, because I'm pretty happy with everything. As long as we don't get any attacks to where I need roofs on these buildings. I did put just some temporary roofing on the roofs on these. Just dragged them out for now so I can put up an actual roof. But that way none of my people, their beds get destroyed and I lose them. The game is getting a little more stuttery. I did have to turn the settings down a couple notches. I don't know what I all turned down. I turned it down like 2 notches and it turned the view distance down, and everything gets kind of blurry and I didn't like that, so I left all the settings turned down but the view distance up high, and I got a little bit of the performance back, but it's still a little bit jerky. it's probably just the game engine having to deal with all the extra turrets and NPCs, and I got two GTX 970s in SLI, and they're barely doing 30 frames a second, but it's not because of the graphics. It's latency on the engine. Sometimes I'm getting as high as 60 milliseconds latency on the engine, so it's not really a graphically demanding title. It just, the engine just ain't optimized yet. I'm hoping that the next patch will get 64-bit, and the engine will be converted over to Unity 5, and games like 7 Days to Die have already been converted, and they're saying that they're running a lot better. So I'm hoping that's the same case with this one. Because I could see that a problem as me building so much that the engine really just can't handle it. And like I said, it mostly seems like it's just the all the shop counters and all the timers and just all that stuff running in the background. It just, the more people you get there, the more AI is running. It just seems like that's what's slowing it down. And from what I understand, this game is running on the graphics card, not really the CPU, because this game barely touches like 10% of my CPU. So my understanding, it's running OpenCL on the graphics card. So even though it's not very graphically demanding, it's basically running on your graphics cards. And I'm not even sure if the game has a proper SLI profile. I mean, it is using 99%, but I don't know if when it's switching the cards, is that part of the problem for the frame times being so high. Hopefully Unity 5 and DirectX 12 will come out before this game gets fully developed, and things like multi-GPU, instead of the two GPUs working to alternate rendering frames, they can be added together to make like a more powerful single GPU. That's a feature that DirectX 12 is supposed to have, and I'm hoping a company like this is one of the first companies that take advantage of that, because if it's that hard to run, I don't know how people with lower end graphics cards are even running the game, or will be able to. But it does seem like people with lower graphics cards are having actually more success running it. So I don't know if, like I said, it's just because I'm trying to push the engine at high frame rate. It just can't handle it. I'm not sure how it actually all works, but it doesn't act like a normal game where turn the settings down, the frame rate goes up. It seems like if you turn the settings down, you can get a little performance back because your reducing some of the memory usage, which seems to be the limitation of the game. And but if you you build a big colony and you're trying to push 100 frames a second, there's no way the engine can keep up with that. It's just doing too much. Like I said, the 60 millisecond frame time, and you're not even going to get a 30 frames a second. And that's basically what I'm seeing. Is I'm hitting little just little hiccups where I'm getting 60 millisecond plus frame times. From my understanding, that is the all the voxels being recalculated every 10 frames. From what I can understand on the forum, one of the patches a while back, they changed to where all the voxels were recalculated every 10 frames instead of every other frame. So I'm kind of thinking that's what when you move past the draw distance and it's got to load in new voxels, that's basically the hiccup you're seeing.